is searching him now, you can see that this guy is all.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, coach. Is coach still online? Can everybody confirm they can hear coach or the network went off?
It's offline. It's not online.
It's online. We can't hear him.
Think,
it's like they were trying to record.
I think I'm back. Sorry.
Network.
It was when you started recording. It's when you started recording, thing just bumped me out. So like I said, love and likeness are two different things. You have to realize that and you have to understand that. So many people are to say, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. And they don't mean it. What they mean is I like you. The way you know someone that loves you is the person is willing to spend more time with you. The person gives more than the person takes. You get? That's the proof that the person really truly loves you. So reality check is if somebody is hardly spending time with you now, and I say you still love the person, listen to me. Reality checks. These are the things you should not ignore. Do not ignore them. They are pointers and they are red flags to the person's personality, person's character, the person's life. So do not think, oh no, I understand the place of dreams. I understand the place of desires, the place of fantasies, the place of, thinking better. However, do not ignore certain reality traits that the person is demonstrating right now. Number 4 is money issues. Money issues is very important for me when it comes to reality checks in every relationship. Have you noticed how she spends? Have you noticed what he spends money on now? And you're ignoring them. If you observe, he spends too much money while you're just even in a relationship on himself, not on you, and you're ignoring them. Or he doesn't even spend at all. Or he doesn't even have a job right now, and you're saying, no, God will take care of it. Nobody's saying God will not take care of it. We're saying there are some reality checks that should aid and guide your decision-making process and to help you so that there's nothing wrong with you going into it, not blindly, but with your both eyes open to say, well, no problems. I know you got no money. This is a reality. I'm willing to live with it. I have dreams. I have desires. But I will not let the dreams and desires decide my decisions alone. Reality will be part of it. So I don't get into the marriage. And I say, if I had known, you knew. If I had known, you knew. He didn't tell me, he told you. He didn't show me, he showed you. You guys saw all those things you just chose to ignore. Those are the things we call reality checks in relationship. Another one is character issues. You notice the guy tells lies a lot and you're ignoring it. The guy is even coaching you on how to lie. One day, he will lie to you about what is cheating. You know, you and him, you lie a lot these days. Pastor is calling me, say I'm not here, say I'm not here. And you are ignoring it. The man is a perennial pathological liar. These are character issues. And you are enjoying it. Tell mommy, I was with you. And you are enjoying it. Because you thought he was, or you get the point. One day, you'll be calling him, you'll be at home. He will tell the person to tell them I'm not here. Because he's used to lying. These are the realities. You should begin to say, wait a minute, I want to ignore this. This is this person's true nature. Why should I be ignoring it? Finally, faith issues. He's not saved, but you are hoping things can change. He smokes, he drinks, womanizes, goes to club. This is a reality. In relationships, these are the reality checks that you should not ignore. But in your growing together, you should make your decisions not based on dreams, but based on reality. Don't forget, like I said, some people base their relationship decisions on dreams and desires. 80-70% of their inclination and their dominant thought are based on their desires and their dreams, not based on reality. Do not ignore realities. There's so many things happen in life that are real. Do not ignore them because relationship is a real thing, not a dream thing. Nobody's got a relationship in a dream. You have it in real life. So don't please ignore that. Pastor Jenkins will continue for me. I wish I could be here longer.
Oh, I wanted you to answer one question. Somebody asked
what is the question?
The person sent the question. He said, the guy is asking that, said the lady who stands, that she wouldn't get married to a man who is not financially secure, judging from his current earnings, but she sticks around and plays the girlfriend. Would you say she's manipulative? So the guy is saying that the girlfriend said he can't marry a man who, because he's not there financially, but he's always staying around, sticking as a girlfriend, but he said he can't marry someone that is not financially okay for now. But the guy is asking, isn't that manipulation?
No, it's not manipulation. No.
Okay.
You should find out why the girl is still sticking around. The guy has told you, one, I will not marry someone who's not financially stable. Two, I'm sticking around you, hoping that things will change. Three, if things don't change, I'll probably take a walk. So I don't think the girl is not being manipulative. The girl is probably giving you some leeway, some hope that maybe you will change things, maybe you work harder, maybe you give her reasons why she should say yes to you. You know, I do not see that as manipulative. I think she's been honest with you enough to say, I'm not going to marry you. I'm just being a friend to you right now. But let me see how it goes the next 1 year. If I don't see things change, I'll probably take a walk. Or if I see someone else who comes in, I'll probably take a walk. Those are the issues that I think you should consider. Genotype is a reality issue. You guys think about it. Yeah. So, Pastor Jenkins, over to you. Have fun with your people out there. I'll talk to you again. I'll find time again to be with you all.
Thank you, sir. We miss you. Thank you, sir, for joining. God bless you, sir.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Pastor Jenkins. It's good to have you. Good to have you, sir. Wow. Hello, sir. I guess your network is breaking. I don't know whether it's from my side. The network is breaking, sir.
Good to be here tonight. From where Senior Pastor stopped. Chemaka, confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. It was breaking a bit, sir, but now I can hear you perfectly. I think I probably people can still share their opinion later. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, sir. I think the network here is quite bad. Your network is fluctuating a bit. It's off. Okay, guys, I think Coach, before Pastor Jenkins, okay, he's back. Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, I think the network was bad at the point, so I wasn't hearing you. Good to have you, sir.
Okay.
So how we're going to do it now, because we didn't discuss. So if you have a question that you really want us to talk about, you can drop it on the chat. But I'll be asking Pastor Jenkins some of the questions we dropped that we're going to be asking, and for you to throw more light on those questions. I asked before, but I'll just leave that question for now. So where somebody asked, it should money be a deal breaker or in a relationship? Money. I think Coach answered it now, but I really wanted to talk about that because people are keen on financial security. Nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to enter marriage and start suffering and get to that point that you can't take care. Especially in this country, I used to have that conversation with some people. I used to say in this particular society we are living in, especially in Nigeria, the way things are now, people should be consulting and asking themselves, can I take care of 2 to 3 people before giving birth? Because things are really hard to give them good life. So I'm asking now, should money be a deal breaker in a relationship, both from the female or the male? Hello, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So yes, for me, I think money is very important in relationship. Don't let's kid ourselves. Yes, I know this is a Christian forum, and we like to over spiritualize things. If you ask married people what are the 3 key things that rock homes, they will tell you money is either number 1 or number 2. Do you understand? So it's not something that you want to wish away. The reality is that everybody needs money. You are a holy man, you are an unrighteous man, whatever you are Igbo, you are Hausa, you are Yoruba, you need money. So in relationship, you need to discuss money and you need to decide. Some of the things that I just need you to keep in mind around deciding money is to ask yourself reality questions around, okay, so what are the sources of money that this other person has? By the way, I hope we're not talking only about the conversations around what are our sources of income, what is the quantum, and what are the channels. Then again, we need to talk about the uses. So it's not just sources. So and in fact, I can tell you both of them are equally important. So I make quantum X, but because of my habit with money, I spend more than X. It doesn't make feel worse than somebody who makes less than that amount, but what you make is also about what you use. So if you have honest conversations and you feel honestly that, hey, based on the skill that I have before me, in terms of what are the sources, what is going to work. Of course,
right,
I need you to take that, something I should keep in mind, because it's not constant. Today, the profile might be this way, tomorrow it can change. So what you need to thoroughly understand are the ability to also make money. So, and that's another thing that we should keep in mind. How easy is it for this person or this other person to also be able to attract more money in the future? If you feel that it's not going to work, there's no need fooling yourself. If you rush yourself into it or ignore that reality check, later you'll be shaking because money is not enough.
Okay, sir. The next question. Your network is fluctuating a lot.
Give me a minute to change my. Give me a minute to change my internet source.
Okay, let me just have some people.
Give me a minute. You can take.
Yeah. So as we're waiting for him to change his internet source, I would like one or two people to share their experiences. Like if you have been in a relationship that you had these expectations before going into this relationship, how were you able to were those expectations met or were you disappointed? I just wanted to share our real life experience. Like we do here, we share real life experience that people will learn from. Everybody learns on a daily basis and from anybody, but our opinion matters. So I would like people, okay, Agnes is raising her hand. So let me have you, Agnes. Hello, Agnes, you're on. Okay.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Mine is not like an experience, but it's just my own guide, the kind of guide I just set for myself through the leading of the Holy Spirit. For me, because of I'm physically challenged, because of my physical challenge, with the help of the Holy Spirit, I set a guide for myself for relationship, for marriage. And one of the guide is this: desperation. Desperation is out of it. Then, like Pastor Yomi said, the reality check too. We need to be real. I don't want to pretend. I don't want to make excuse for someone who is a liar. I know you are lying. I know you are aggressive. I know you are angry. I don't want to make excuse, because making excuse in that situation is dangerous for me. Then another thing, like I always say, is this: I don't want someone that will come into my life because they'll be telling me because he's doing it out of pity. No. When you are doing it out of pity, it's a put off for me. I want someone that will accept me the way I am and love me the way I am. Then another thing is not all about me. I'm also looking at what can I bring to the table, even in my challenge. Because one of the things we need to eradicate in relationship is selfishness. We don't need to be selfish about it. Like someone was telling me that the reason why she wants to go into the marriage is because she wants to have children. And I'm like, no, that's being selfish. For me, it's not only children I'm looking out for in marriage. I want children, I want companionship. And she was like, you can't have the two. I said, no, I can have the two. It's possible. If you're talking about children, what if the children don't come early in life? You know, I have a whole lot of things to share, but I don't want to be.
Okay, so I think Pastor
I want to give other people room. So that's my own field guide that I have. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Agnes, for sharing. That's quite an interesting one. Even while we are having those expectations, we should consider the other person we're going into a relationship with, which is very, very important. Because sometimes you can be selfish. It's just all about me, how this person will treat me, how I want this person to meet. You have to think about the other person. Okay, so Pastor Jenkins, I think you're back now. Thank you. Let's continue how we stopped. Thank you, sir, for joining.
Okay, confirm that this is loud and clear.
Yeah, this is better, quite better. Yeah. So you've talked about money. Money is important. It depends on a lot of factors are involved. It's not just how much the person is earning. Your spending ability comes into that. So some people can be spending much and they don't know how to how to save, how to invest. Just like, sorry for some people, we had one of our platforms, the League of Young Professionals had a section on financial investment and security and all that. And a lot of people, we learned a lot about investment, and people talk about money. You might be earning thousands in this Lagos. And if you don't know how to invest in the next couple of years to come, you don't have anything to show for, because that is very, very important in relationships. So moving ahead, sir, what are those questions? Somebody asked this. What are those questions that one needs to know? If you need to ask yourself, or you need to know whether you are in the right relationship. What are the questions that I need to ask myself? Like, what are the key things you need to look out for that you check, like a check, like, oh, I'm in the right place, or I'm in the wrong relationship, sir?
Okay, that's very tough. So, because people are different, we have different kinds of temperaments, we have different kinds of personalities. So what I'll be sharing might not apply to everybody, but I'm sure you will pick one or two things from it, no matter who you are. So how do I tell if I'm in a good relationship? This relationship will not make me have tears in the future. You know, the way it starts, the butterflies, at some point, the butterfly will turn to mosquito. Huh? So before the butterflies turn to mosquito,
it's always like that.
We need to ask ourselves some questions. One of it is, okay, this person that I'm in a relationship with, am I the only one calling them? They're always busy, too busy to call me. But sometimes when I call them, they manage to pick, but they're always so busy. You need to watch out. So I understand that people have different challenges. So depending on their work schedule, there's a time that the person should have time to call you back. It should not be only you making all the calls all the time, sending all the texts. You are the one that sent text in the morning. Good morning, my love. Did you wake up where? Did you see angels in your dream? At night, you are the last person to text. This person doesn't do anything. They are a receiver, satellite dish, just receiving. So watch out. It might be that you are putting too much energy into the relationship.
Yeah.
It might be like Reverend said, like they like you. They don't love you.
Yeah.
They like you. So you need to keep that in mind. Number two is how they feel around you. How they feel around you. Do you feel that they are not natural when they are around you? Oh, they show up. They come for that date. You hang out, you gist. But you see that this person has rehearsed this date. This person has done a lot of work to put up an appearance. It's a show. You can't do a show for 35 years.
Of course.
You can do it for 1 year. You can do it for 2 years. Is this person naturally excited around you? Will they be bored to death when they're around you? If there was no phone and, there was no movie to see together, there's no dish to eat together, would they be excited around you? Because for the long haul, that will be the reality. The reality is that not every day will be Christmas. It's not every day we'll be going out to see a movie. It's not every day we'll have interesting things to talk about. It's not every day you're going to do that lovely presentation and write a poem, all those kind of things, and buy flower. Naturally, are they excited around you? Do they feel cool around you without having to pretend or act? Check that out. Number 3 thing I would like you to watch out for when you're around someone and you want to be sure, is this a good relationship or are we just pretending? Is body language when you bring up something that involves commitment. What's their body language? I'm not saying what they say. It's what the body says. The body doesn't lie. The eyes, the way they move, the way they, just turn the head, the way they sigh. When you bring up a serious topic requiring commitment, I'm not talking about money alone. I'm talking about taking decisions. I'm talking about taking responsibility. That's what I mean. So if they will not be responsible without ranting, you want to check again. Some people can be responsible, but they will be ranting. They will be responsible, but they will be giving you issues. They will be stressing it. You will know that they are forcing it. Over that relationship life that should lead to marriage, there will be a lot of those days that you need to discuss serious things requiring commitment. And their real attitude is part of what you should have been seeing as those red flags in body language. When you bring up talks around, oh, we need to do this, we have to do this, and just watch out. Because responsibilities will only increase in the future. Children will come, in-laws, this responsibility, you're moving houses, you're doing that. They will come. Those things are bound to happen. So if this person is afraid of responsibility, you will carry it alone. I'm not saying back out. I'm just saying you need to be aware. So do you have the muscle to take more than your fair share of the deal? Things that you should watch out for. I'm going to give you another one. So how did they introduce you? You are in a relationship now, yeah? How did they introduce you? Did they introduce you? You know, you hang out with friends, you're in a relationship with somebody, and a third party comes, 2-3 people come, and they just say, oh, meet Chiamaka. Chiamaka meets so. Something is going on.
That's a red flag already. It's a red flag.
Something is going on. If it's a pattern, you've been together for some months, you've been together for over a year, this person cannot introduce you properly. You need to ask questions. I'm not saying something is definitely wrong, but you need to ask questions. So who are you to them? You need to be sure, because there might be one or two of you.
All right.
I don't know if you are getting my point very well.
Yes, sir.
There might be one or two of you. Something else that Reverend had mentioned that I might just want to emphasize is they are violent tendencies. Have they worsed somebody in your presence before? Just give the person lighter. It's not you or they didn't slap you. But in a fit of rage, they just It might be you one day. So it's something you might want to discuss. Is a red flag. Or how did they treat their parents? This person is treating his mom disrespectfully, but you are their angel. So you may want to check that out. They're treating their own younger brother with disdain. You will have a younger brother someday too. You'll be in that relationship. They might extend the love. So you want to check those things. Again, there are no rules. I'm not saying break it if you see this. No. Some of these red flags might be like pink for some people. So it might be a red flag for Mr. A and be a pink flag for Mr. B. Vice versa. So please check out some of these things. Reverend has also talked about lying. And I think Sister Agnes has also talked about lying. Lying is a big red flag. If they can lie in your presence, they will lie in your absence. One day the object of lie will be you. At another day, the subject of lie will be you. It's different depending on how it hits you. So this is something you want to really pay attention to. How easy is it for them to lie? Especially in your presence, especially about something you know, but they just do it to cover. They may do it to cover you one day. They may do it to expose you one day. So these are some of the points I'd just like to mention at this point. So I don't take all your time. I have a lot more. So if there are more questions.
Right. Okay, sir. But I just have one more question before I open the floor for the house to ask their questions. Like I said at the beginning of this today's hangout, I said that somehow everybody has an expectation, and some of our expectations, I'm talking from my own perspective now, have been built based on what I've seen, what you have seen online, what you have seen people do. So there's this, when you watch all this romantic movie, there's this paint of a perfect picture of a perfect relationship. Like you meet the guy, he falls in love. At the point, people probably you have a little issue, you come back together, things start going smoothly. You go out on a nice dinner date, you come back, he has a car, he buys you gifts. So a lot of things on our mind. Then you have this amazing wedding, you have people, your family, you go to Singapore. I love Singapore a lot for your honeymoon, Dubai. Those expectations, we have it. But sometimes we live in that dream, like Reverend said, and most times we just debate so much and that without checking. So how do we balance? It's good to have dreams, it's good to have those expectations, but sometimes it won't work that way for everybody, of course. But how do we now balance these expectations with current realities? How do we, at what point should we draw the line like, Chiamaka, you need to calm down. You see that kind of sweet, amazing Bella Niger wedding you want to have, you're not going to have it now. So how do we tell ourselves the truth and balance the expectations we have with the current reality? Probably you have someone that you really do love, and this person cannot afford that expectation, like what you're dreaming of. How do you balance, like bring yourself to the knowledge that you have to calm down without, because sometimes you might feel hurt if you don't get to that place, and sometimes you now live in regrets if you don't meet up, that you don't get the expectations you really do have. So, sir, the floor is yours.
Okay, so good. I will address the question from two ways. I'll start from the expectation, the definition of the expectations. So if they are yours, I don't have any problem. So if they are yours, that means you are factored in the resources required to translate expectation to your reality. If they are not your expectations, we're going to have a problem. So if those expectations are from novels, let's first agree that novels are fiction. And even the ones they ourselves, nobody is a child here. There are some things that you just know this is just for entertainment purposes. So it will be, you will not be helping yourself by building those expectations around what you know that the basis is expectations. Nobody is saying that it's impossible to go have your honeymoon in Singapore. Oh, of course, it's possible. You can go to Dubai and do 2 months for your wedding. But I need to ask you, if those are your own expectations, do you have the resources to match it? That's where the problem comes. Oh, maybe it's not even about flamboyant wedding or honeymoon. Maybe it's about the happily ever after dream. Oh, yes, it's a good dream.
Yes.
And you are entitled to it. But you must recognize that it takes a lot of work to make those kind of reality. So is that cognizance that I think will put things in perspective. Are there couples who don't fight, who don't engage in feasting? I mean, like punching one another. Are there couples who don't argue that much? Are there couples who don't keep malice? Are there couples that, don't fight dirty or, use words against each other? Oh, yes, there are. But they didn't get there in one day. No, they didn't get there in one day. It's a series of decisions and commitments. And that's why I keep saying people in ship, we've got to maximize the time. There's a lot of work to do to have a great marriage. A great marriage is not a gift. A good woman is a gift from God. Oh, yes. He will find a wife, finds a good thing, and has obtained favor from the Lord. But a good marriage is not a gift. You gift yourself that good marriage by working hard. If you're going to buy yourself that Singapore ticket, I know you will agree with me that you need to work hard to get it done. The same thing for having a great marriage, a marriage where you and your husband are the best of friends, where you can raise your children in a good atmosphere, you can have good quality of life. It takes a lot of work. You got to work on yourself. You need to be committed. There are sacrifices that make. So there's no rule against having a great dream. No rule at all. Isaac had a great home, but it didn't come easy, and there were times there are issues. But it's the maturity in settling those issues, not allowing them to escalate, that speaks to the quality of the work that has been put in by the parties of what you want to have as a home. But you've got to have the discipline to pay the price for it. The price of commitment, of communication, of discipline, of what you aspire to have in a home. You would decide to overlook some things. And that's part of the price of having a great home. Everybody sees you out there and they say, oh, that's a fantastic couple. You know what you are paying to sustain that kind of relationship. And of course, talking about what you see on social media, I mentioned that earlier, nobody's going to put on social media the day they are fighting. Forget it. Nobody is going to put on social media the day this person turned this way on the bed, that person turned that way on the bed. Nobody is going to put that on social media. We only put the days that we go out for a lunch date, somewhere on the boat cruise, or we go to, I don't know, we go to Montreal, or you go to Paris, you know. Yeah, that's what the world wants to see. We'll freeze them with that. But when we go through our issues, we got to deal with it so we can have the quality of marriage that we want. So it comes with the price. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, sir. You've answered the question.
Don't like the answer, I guess.
Because I know it's quite hard.
That's the reality.
It's quite hard because a lot of us, everybody wants a good life. Everybody wants everything to be perfect. Nobody wants to suffer. Everybody wants to enjoy the good life, but you have to pay the price. And you have to pay the price because at times I just feel this is the place we have to compromise comes into play. Where in that your expectations are matching it to your current realities, where do you tend to compromise? In what areas do you tend to compromise? Some people have this kind of, oh, this is how I would love my husband to look like. I would love my family to look like. At what point, if you're not getting those things, at what point are you supposed to now compromise and tell yourself the truth? But if you talk about it, it's about decision, it's about your commitment. Are you ready to pay the price? At times, these our realities are unreachable per se, but we keep dreaming, like the motivational speakers will say, you keep dreaming. Okay, I just want to open the floor now. I know that people have questions. Please, the floor is open for you to ask. Femi, I just wanted, okay, I'll allow Femi to speak, but make it short and brief. Femi knows how to take, you can ask like 20 questions at the same time. Femi, the floor is open for you to ask your question. Then if you have a question.
Thank you, Chiamaka. Thank you, Pastor Jenkins. Just 1 minute, very quickly. So I was at a colleague's wedding last Saturday, and when the MC asked her to serve her husband, and she did not kneel down or this paparazzi they did, and she made mention of something that, do you want me to show off? Do you want me to do eye service of doing this thing in the public for the camera when I know when I get home, I will not be serving him like this? I was also at another colleague's wedding sometime in May, and they did the wedding on Saturday. The lady resumed on Tuesday. So there was nothing like, I asked her for now, how about honeymoon? She said, who honeymoon help? That we have so much to do. So my question is, how do we break from this? I so much admire them because they were able to break from the mentality of you must do honeymoon or you must kneel down to serve your husband. I'm not saying these things are wrong, but how do we break from this follow attitude of doing things because, in quotes, this is how it has been done in the past and we must continue that trend? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Femi. So for me, I think that what that couple did, for me, is commendable. And why am I saying that? We are in a generation that is always under pressure. We want to please people at our detriment. That's their own reality check. Ask me, okay, so does my wife kneel down to give me food every day? No. In fact, I'll be shocked if she does it. Number one, personally, I don't want it. I don't need it. I want a friend. So what's the point of pretending because the whole world is watching? So I'm going to kneel down to give you cake and give you wine. Then tomorrow, I'm not going to do it. What's the point? There's no point trying to do what is not real to you. That is their reality. And talking about this wedding, thank God you brought me to this area. One of the things that we also ignore is the reality in matching up with societal expectation for your wedding. If you cannot have a wedding where you're going to feed everybody, will they cane you if you don't give them food? Many people force themselves to do wedding on Saturdays, and you know you cannot afford it. Can't you do it on a Sunday? See, let me give you 5 advantages of doing your wedding on a Sunday, for instance. Number one, you are sure the whole church will be full. If they see your wedding picture, nobody will know which day you did it or not. Free publicity, everybody's in church. You don't have to do takeaway. You don't have to give anybody food. They didn't come to church to eat food. They came to serve God on Sunday. So you can save yourself of food. Guess what? In many churches, including ours, you are going to have photographers cover the event anyways. You don't need to do too much. After the whole show, go and liaise with media team. Say, please, I beg, send me Google link of the pictures. You have your pictures free of charge. Imagine decoration is done for you. That's number 4. Decoration is done for you after the events. Number 5, you can go home with any car you like that day. The car of your dreams can take you to where you are going. Whether you are going home, you are going to hotel, you are going back to work. Nobody is going to know. When people see your pictures, how many years after, nobody cares whether you did some people on your wedding. You may not be hungry tomorrow. So you have to cut your coats according to your, they say these days, according to your material. If you can't do that wedding that you're going to spend millions and you want to get married, nothing stops you from creating your style that matches the reality of your pockets. So I just thought to drop that along Femi's question.
All right, Femi said my wedding, Pastor Jenkins have given me an idea. My wedding will be on a Sunday. All right, thank you, sir. It's really, thank you so much, sir, for sharing. It's quite important.
Yeah.
Thank you, Femi, for that question, because at times, how we break from these societal expectations. I've seen somebody, okay, I think I was somewhere and they were having conversation about this big wedding of a thing, parents saying that they own the wedding. The lady said she and the husband decided that they want to have a small private wedding, but the mom is saying, no, it must be big. The woman said no, they were dragging it with the parent, and the parent went ahead to be inviting people, doing ashebi. They said a week to the wedding, 3 days to the wedding. The lady did not talk. They just did not call. The parents were trying to reach them. They could not reach them. The next thing, they went to their flat. They found out that those ones, they travel abroad. They went somewhere in one other country to do their private wedding there and tell the mom, you can do your own in Nigeria. So at times, it might be our parents that put the expectation on us. But I think I learned something today that it's good to actually sit down and match your expectations with your current realities. It's not most like must do big wedding. Like me, I'm not even a fan of a big wedding. I don't know why people will spend so much money in feeding people that half of the people that don't care about you or they care about you in your wedding. Small wedding is quite important. So thank you, Pastor Jenkins, for that. Any other question? Okay, I think Emmanuel Abayowa is raising his hand. I think I take 1 or 2 questions, then we bring it to a close. Emmanuel, the floor, please unmute Emmanuel, please. John, please unmute Emmanuel. Good evening, Emmanuel. Good to have you.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I asked a question earlier, and I think Pastor, tried answering it a bit, but I would have loved probably he going in depth into it. Now, considering all the reality checks, you look into, okay, purpose, is he a Christian? Are you financially compatible, emotionally compatible? You also have to look into the fact that, okay, are you genotypically compatible? Now, in priority checks, now you have someone, or let me say you are looking forward to someone that, okay, you can live your life together, your emotions are aligning, your purpose, they are aligning, and the genotype thing is just there, it's just hanging. You know the reality about it. But on the other hand, you also, my question is really like, do you now make genotype your basis for discernment for marriage? Because it's almost like, I'm saying this from, at least experiences from some of my colleagues. I know people who have been engaged, and at the end of the day, their church will just be like, it's a no-no for us. This is our pattern, this is the way we do it. If the moment you guys are AS is a no-no, you are AS, there's no, you go and look for AA. This thing can't work. And at times, I think the approach to it is not so good, even from Christian leadership.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, because where do we place where do we put the place of faith? I'm not ruling out the reality, but I think over time, there's not been a balance along those lines. Can Pastor help us?
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. Pastor Jenkins, over to you, sir.
All right, very important question. Although we are running out of time, but I think I need to answer this question. So the question of genotype is a very sensitive one. Unfortunately, many of us have not been able to face that reality correctly. So as a church, we don't do that. And this is the basis of what I'm saying, and I'm just going to give you why people of faith, and faith is not a denial of fact. Faith is not a denial of fact. The Bible talks about God, that is the one who calls those things that be not as if they were. Not that he calls the things that are as if they are not. Two different things. So Sister A and Brother B are both ASAS. Mathematically speaking, there's a 25% chance that they can have an SS, and a 25% chance that they can have an A, and a 50% chance that they can have an AS, right? So as a people of faith, we will tell you the reality. The reality is that this is what mathematics says. You have a 25% chance of having an SS. Can your faith carry it? Can your faith carry it? So if you do have an SS, which is a possibility, what will you do? Can you handle it? Will you rock your relationship? Can you deal with it? The two of you, can you deal with it? If you do have an SS child, will you be able to take care of that child? Will you not say, oh, my wife is your fault? It's because you can't have an A. And I wonder why people don't talk about the fact that you can actually have an A. You have equal chance of having A as having an SS. Yeah. How come people don't talk about that? And so that's what we try to bring on the table. That, see, our church, and because of the way that the scripture has already given us an understanding about faith. Faith is not something I put on you. Faith is what you develop for yourself. So based on your faith, can you handle this? If God in his wisdom allows you to have SS, can you handle it? If yes, why not? We'll join you. If you say you want to be married, we'll join you. But we need to tell you the reality that there is this chance. Do you want to go ahead? If you want to go ahead, yes. And I'm speaking not theoretically, I'm speaking practically. I counsel couples who are both AS and AS, and they decided they're going to go ahead. But they were afraid at some point, and I had to share with them, they say, there's nothing that says that you should not go ahead if you believe you should. But just recognize that there's a chance you will have an SS, and there's a chance you will have AA. Let it be unto you according to your faith. There are families that are AS, they didn't have any SS. There are families that are AS, they have 3/4 of their children SS. So where is the place of faith? So I do not support a church saying, I won't join you because you are AS. Don't play God. I don't decide the outcome of the two people coming together. I can't decide the outcome. So if you are AS, you are the other person is AS, you are happy to go together, go ahead, please. I don't think it's a red flag. But you need to discuss it, be open, and decide that you're able to take care of it. And of course, there are medical solutions in managing it.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I thank you very much for that, sir. I guess like he stressed, it's from the church. But for me personally, it's quite a risky one because it's very, very easy to say I do, it's fine. When you start having the child, I was opportune to stay with a family that had SS children, and I know the pain. I could understand the pain of having children, that the risk of bringing a child into the world to suffer that kind of thing. So, like he said, it's between both of you. It's not at the end of the day you start blaming one another. It can get to that. Marriage on its own, when even people get married, issues tend to spring up from anywhere. Talking about when you have someone that you have to take care of, practically the money to be going to the hospital in and out. So it takes a lot of things. Like, thank you so much, sir. John was raising his hand, and I don't know, John, are you ready? Just a minute. I'm giving you a minute because I want Pastor Jenkins to give us his last word on this particular topic. So
okay.
I want us to leave here now. It's late. John?
Okay, thank you, Chiamaka. I wish we can have more minutes. Okay, thank you, Pastor Jenkins. So I just want to share something before I go to my question. So the first thing is, okay, there is this friend of mine, a guy that dated a lady who is older than her. I mean, older than him, 3 years. But like the topic is relationship reality check. When the reality starts setting in, the lady left my guy. They only dated, I think, 1.5 years. The lady wanted marriage and the guy was not ready. So I feel that is reality setting in some occasions like that. So my question now is, okay, when can somebody actually date or go into a relationship with somebody, a lady that that is older than you. And is it okay? Looking at our reality right now, like the world we have now, then is it okay? Are there other things that you should consider if you are going to do it?
Okay, very good question. Yeah, so speaking about reality, I love numbers. If you look at our numbers today, and I don't have time to do other analysis today, you will see that we actually have more eligible women than eligible men. And many of the eligible women, on the average, if you check their average age, the average age is more than the average age of the eligible men. So this is a trend you're going to see a lot going forward. And we're going to have to come to the reality that this is our reality. These sisters and friends of ours need to also be able to fulfill their marital dreams. So it's just to watch out for what considerations will be key. There is absolutely nothing wrong in a younger man marrying an elderly woman, a couple of years. If the gap is a lot, it becomes increasingly difficult. So what do I mean? So while I can't prescribe whether it can be 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, the things you need to watch out for, number one, if you're in different generations, that is, if the gap is about 10 years, 7 years, you are likely going to have some issues around generational behaviors. I don't know if you get what I mean. So certain people in a generation think in one way than others. So you need to watch out for that. Are both of you mature enough to be able to reconcile the differences in how your generations behave? Is slightly older than you. You need to come to the fact, the reality of the fact that she's most likely going to age faster than you. So if you do not like that outcome, you need to decide what you need to do today. You're going to get people around her to help her. Hopefully God helps you. You need to get a maid so that you don't overwork her. You need to support her when you can. You need to ensure that you take good care of her health so that tomorrow when you're working, you'll not say, oh, we met your mommy. You don't want that to happen. So you need to keep her in shape by being supportive. So number 3 is because of childbirth and labor. So when all that begins to happen, there will be some attendant effect on her physical look. You need to also watch out for that. Are you emotionally strong enough to keep that information of age difference between the two of you, or between just a very small circle of people? Again, because of societal rules, especially when it's the woman that is older. Are you mature enough to hold that information and do not give to people who don't need that information, because it begins to impact you too. There'll be things that you may not consider to be important, that the society now begin to flag. Don't go marry an elder sister. So if you're mature enough to handle all that information, there's nothing wrong about it. But you need to be aware of the impact that will have over a long period of time. Don't look at only today, look at the next 10 years. Will you have what it takes to handle the situation? In the next 20 years, we have what it takes to handle the situation. Again, slightly older than the man.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Your line is quite breaking. Thank you so much, sir. We are out of time, right? We are supposed to close this meeting by 9 o'clock, and I have some few announcements to make. Thank you so much, sir. I think someone asked, I don't know, why Emmanuel was asking his question. He said something about financial compatibility, and people are saying, please, what is financial compatibility? Is there anything like what?
It's new for me too.
But I mean, in my own mind, I was thinking it has something to do with, are you people financially compatible in terms of who is spending, who is a spender, who is an earner, what's your financial status, or financial knowledge about how to spend money and make money. I think it's new to you. Yeah, we learned new words. And I'll probably talk about that later.
Sorry to cut you short. This is what I was saying when I was talking about financial compatibility. Now, when it comes to how you want to make drives for money, how you want to, pursue for a family, pursue financial things. Some people are more conscious about it than others. So while some people look at you like, you are too ambitious, you want to buy your own jet, you want to do this, the other person might feel like, there's nothing wrong with that. So mentally, there's, okay, you want to buy a Range Rover, and the other guy is just comfortable with just an old Toyota or something.
All right, Emmanuel, thank you. Yes, I got it. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. That's very important too. I get you now. It's very, very important because some people are not looking from a family of we need to work hard, we need to make money. Some people come from background place that it's not about working hard too much. Just I'm comfortable here, make a little money and all that. Thank you so much, sir. Good to always have you speak to us on issues like this. I know we've learned a lot. One of these major things we picked today is make decisions based on your current realities, not just on your dream. Young people that are just telling us, especially we ladies, make decisions on current realities, not just on your dreams, because at times that dreams might not just happen at the time you want it. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. A quick announcement. So if you're joining us for the first time, this is 412 Hangout, like I said initially, is a platform for matured working class singles. It's just a platform where we discuss issues that have to do with us, from career, from contemporary issues, anything, talk about it. We deal with those issues there. We learn, unlearn, and relearn. And we have pastors like coaches that come here today to help us, enlighten us more on these issues that we don't know. Usually we meet every Monday at Foundation of Truth Assembly. By the way, this platform is brought to you by the New Wine, which is the youthful expression of Foundation of Truth Assembly. Here is just for the youth, and we are glad to have you. If this is your first time, you're welcome. Kindly drop the number on the chat, your number on the chat room, where we can add it to the WhatsApp group. But guess what, guys? We are having a physical hangout. So COVID happened, we went on Zoom, we have been on Zoom, and we're happy. A lot of you can join us from different parts of the country or different parts of the world. But we decided to, at the point, we have a physical hangout where we get to network. One of the reasons for this platform is for people to meet people. So don't be shy to DM somebody here that you like, to mingle, network. We want serious people. We don't want players. So if you know you like somebody, the like should be on real basis, not just let me play around. So the Lord might be leading you to someone now. Just slightly slide into that person's DM and have a chat with that person. So we're going to have a physical hangout. If you're in our WhatsApp group, we're going to share it very soon. Just a place for us to sit down, hang out, play a lot of games, discuss issues, just chill, network. Like I used to say, your customer might be here. You might be doing business. You are looking for someone to assist you, and so it can be here. So this platform is very, very big. It's a lot of things that happen here. Like I used to say before, people don't find wife for this for this platform. We've had people got married through this platform. So no darling. But everything we do here, our standard is the scripture. We're different from the world. Our standard is the scripture. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us, for making our time to join us today. This hangout is going to happen again, I think, the next 2 weeks, Monday. We're going to be coming back with another interesting topic. It might not be relationship, it might just be finances, it might be had to do with your career. So do well to invite your friends and join us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you. Do have a great day and an amazing week ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you, Pastor Jenkins. God bless you. Thank you, everybody that joined. Thank you, Coach, for having us. A good night, guys. Who is Martins Lawrence? I don't see your hand. Martins Lawrence, sorry. Okay. Good night, everyone. Bye. Ngozi, bye-bye. Femi, please try and propose to your dear friend on the beach. Oh, don't run away.
Okay, well, for the first time as well, waiting for your numbers. So please drop your numbers.
Okay, drop your numbers. If you actually invited people, you can collect their numbers from them, and so that we can add them to the group. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay, John. Everyone, bye-bye.
Thank you, Chiamaka. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Femi,
thank you, Emmanuel.
Propose.
Femi, stop crushing. Stop crushing.
Thank you.
John, you propose too.
Femi,
Thank you very much. Great forum.
Private pitch. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Samuel. So
Thank
there's
you,
someone
madam.
that dropped number. Please drop your number so we can add it to the group.
You've copied it already.
Please, guys, you guys should get ready for our physical hangout. It's quite important. It's going to happen live and it's going to be so much fun. Good night, everyone. John, please, let's do our other meeting at the back.
All right.
But
Good night.
I need to get home now. I'm not at home. It's late. Good night, everyone.
All right.
You
Bye-bye.
have a
Samuel.
amazing
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, John. Good
All right,
night.
now.
Bye.
Agnes, thank you so much for joining. Please do what to drop your
Agnes,
number.
it's nice meeting you. Your number,
Nice
please.
meeting you, please. Igwe choose. I don't know whether you're on the group. Drop your number.
Who's calling my name? Good evening.
Good evening. Long time. It's Samuel.
Oh, Samuel, no longest time. Good
Yeah.
evening.
Agnes, please drop your number. Can we add it to the group?
Samuel, you haven't got his number. Go behind this this thing.
I don't know
Don't
why
come and
he's
disturb
calling
us.
Igwe Chooks, please drop your number. Igwe Chooks, please drop your number. Let me add you.
Somebody should come to I might propose that
Hello,
day.
Shamaka.
You said what? Yeah.
Femi said he might propose that day.
Ngozi, hold on first now. Igwe Chooks, you said what?
Shamaka, I think you were around last week. This is not my first time. I was around last week.
You're on the group. Oh, thank you.
Yes, I think your birthday was sometimes last week. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I did not know.
Okay.
So thank you. Agnes, I've not seen your number. You can private chat us now. Let's get your number. We really need to have you on the call. Thank you so much for joining. And it's late.
All right. Good night, everybody.
The meeting has
ending this
ended.
now.
You can.
Bye.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.